no more than a test. Ever feeding off the fallacy, creating this mess deep down inside this bleak machine with all of the rest. Break free, two phase electricity. Time turning up the volume. Time turning on us always. No time left to hold. Turning back to where we began. Turning to seconds, tasting. Fragmenting our direction. Submerged in noise detecting. Delirium unsuspecting. Staring into reason. Time in the need for defense. Transgressions become committed. Sending to face. Twisted destiny alone in a trance, no escaping from this waking dream, no hope for advance. You see, the mortal core itself is not but a spring, unwind, too slow to grip, too much to believe.
Deep inside, I know there must be more. Sorry. Just thinking about how excited I am for the Super Mario movie, which is going to date the archive of this stream. But it's okay, because no one actually watches the archives of this except the two people who do. Welcome back to Lord of the Rings. I don't need to wear my headphones. And okay. Oh, very cool controller. So last time there was characters and things happened. I think. Oh. Can't go that way. How is audio? I'm gonna turn it a little bit for me. Anyway, who likes speed bumps? I like speed bumps. Get that health taken. Like, what Mario RPG are we gonna play for the podcast? How was audio, by the way? Because this game was super loud last time. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm dog sitting this weekend again. So there's just a depressed puppy sitting on the couch. And I think after the stream is done, I'm gonna take him out again. Because he deserves it. I mean, I would say that Off the Deep End should cover no Mario RPGs, because inherently every Mario RPG is too relevant and is something that the main podcast would ostensibly cover. But if we were to cover one, it'd probably be like, what, the most boring of the most boring of the Mario RPGs, so like Partners in Time or Dream Team, maybe Color Splash or Sticker Star. Anyway, I love that they just make you fight this boss again, and it is the exact same. They said, we made this asset. Actually, I think this asset is from the... Well, yeah, this asset is, I believe, from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. But, what's everyone else doing? Hey, puppy. Oh. I don't know, what Mario game do you think we should play for our clown game? Yeah. Fucking drain AP. Now, here's the real question is what the game starring Chris Pratt should we play? And the answer is just the Lego Movie game. Oh, that still does okay damage. No, I did not see that. Oh shit, there's item crafting skills in this game? How many elf stones can you equip? Okay, it looks like you can equip 4. Okay. Oh no, Charlie Day's Luigi is actually, like, not a terrible casting choice, honestly. Okay, so here's my tip for Divinity Original Sin 2. Here's my actual, like, boring ass one is just like emphasize one damage type over another. Do not split your characters between 2 offensive stats. And get good, scrub, I think. But, like, seriously, you don't have to be hyper optimal for that game, but you do have to be at least a little. Find 7 dwarf runes. I think it helps to have a tank. Someone who you can throw at 2 enemies, or throw at a bunch of enemies and be okay. Actually, what if I just didn't kill everything attack? Don't let the black cat near the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Saving the black cat, you get a pretty good summon for the rest of the game. I'm trying to remember who the last 2 characters are. I think it's Spear Guy and Dual Axes Lady. There's a Spear Guy, right? He's like a Rohirrim soldier. I think my other actual thing would be like, hey man, if you find this game intimidating but want to keep playing it, this is a party of 3 game. Yeah. I think the other thing I would say to anyone who's trying to play through Divinity Original Sin 2 is I'm not gonna shame you for lowering the difficulty to whatever the difficulty is below normal. Yeah. Yeah, have someone to do persuasion, have someone to do thievery. You can tell I'm playing on hard because these guys actually have a lot of HP. But you see, the thing is, if I play on hard, that also means, and here's the secret sicko thing, is that means I get to use more moves, which means in turn, yeah, no shame in respecking. I believe Larian straight up included that, like, bonus. Like, if you want to have a respec in Fort Joy, they just included that, and it disables achievements, but, you know. Do you actually care that much? Oh, I think the other thing is just like, if you're gonna, one of the things that Divinity Original Sin 2, like, absolutely benefits from is, like, you can just do a 1 point dip in a skill, and it's absolutely useful. You want that dip into the rogue skills, because then you get adrenaline, which is just a, yeah, or yeah, necromancy. Weak to fire. Yeah. Dang. This little fucker. When did this game get hard? Don't mind me, I'm just gonna... This is about the time the game wants you to grind. Oh, that's right. What? I thought it was, what are they called? Oh, wow. That's weird. Anyway, Cleaving Wound seems like a pretty good ability. I mean, anything to save Crystal Dynamics from, Avengers Hell, I'm okay with.
Sometimes the little ones are hardest to kill.
I might resent that remark, but I think you're right.
What have you got there?
It would appear we have discovered the last delving of the dwarves. The great Mithril pit.
And that mine would likely lead us to the other side of the mountain.
Would it not? So what do we wait for? Let us follow it!
Oh, it didn't mute me. You almost heard me drink water. If you're saying we should play ActRaiser, ActRaiser is way too relevant. That's a Super Nintendo launch game. If Brad Shoemaker speaks lovingly of your video game, it's not an off-the-deep-end classic. Also, like the actual platform of the game is overpowering me. Oh. What the fuck? Why did the... Okay. Why did it do that? As I was saying. Just gonna grind out craft items. Gonna get Haste of the Elves on the Workmen. Like, you want me to play? You want me to play Oblivion rules? We can do that. Sometimes I guess this weird stuff. I'm saying I like ActRaiser a lot. I think it's fair to acknowledge that maybe the ActRaiser's novelty as a video game is entirely because it is a hybrid genre game in an era where that was strange. I think Daggerfall and Arena would qualify. I think Morrowind is I tried to play Morrowind a couple months ago. And I got as far as I usually do when I play Morrowind, which is, I got to Balmora, and I was like, man, the walking speed in this game is untenable. And then I stopped playing Morrowind. Like, I respect the hell out of that game, and I know there's a desert island scenario where I have a great time with it. Like, that's my sad man thing, is just, I know I would really like Morrowind, but Morrowind is paced like a video game from a time back when video games I'm saying Morrowind is slow even by CRPG standards. Oh. Also, do you think it's very funny that they announced a Switch port of the original version of Knights of the Old Republic? Not the remake. The original. Because, listen, Aspyr already did all that work for Jedi Knight 2. And I believe KOTOR has already been ported to the iPad. So... Tribunal is the first expansion pack, right? Alright, I'm going to click this link and I'm going to regret doing so. Okay, it's Keegan Michael Key. It's Toad, yes. I'm sure the internet is having a field day. And honestly, so am I. Also, yes, I love. I am so excited for the opportunity to pay $50 American for for a wireless N64 controller. On top of the audacity of asking an undisclosed amount of extra money to play N64 and Genesis games. Now, I know our beloved co-host Jeffrey Rude might disagree with this, but as someone who was a Nintendo child growing up, nothing about the Genesis appeals to me. I acknowledge that there are good Genesis games. I'm not a savage. Oh, the N64 controller's a crime, yes. Congratulations, Internet Man from 2004. From 1996, making goofs about the N64 controller. That's just very funny. That's what I think. I'd believe it. Okay, here's a question for the people at home. Do we consider Shining Force a potential candidate? Because, to me, Outsider Man, I see Shining Force as just Sega's answer to Fire Emblem, but the difference is Shining Force actually came out in the US when it was relevant, and then Sega proceeded to do what Sega do, and absolutely just took that series and... Hi, puppy! Sorry, gotta keep crafting King's Foil. This frankly absurd and then you look at what the Shining Force series is now, and you're like, oh. Shining Resonance Refrain, huh? That's what people are into, huh? Anyway, if you're wondering why these encounters are taking forever, it's because I'm 100% attempting to farm skill points, because that's how this game is made. And then there's like, I guess only one part of Shining Force 3 ever came out in the US. And the rest never did, because the Saturn did not catch on in North America. Okay, so there are translations for those second and third parts. Okay. Now, I just think it's real rough that it is literally just always just one skill point. I mean, Sega put out that Mega Genesis collection for PS4, and I feel like that is a perfectly reasonable place to play most of those games for PS4 and Xbox One and Steam. Has Steam Workshop support. Like, if anything, the Genesis is, like, the value of the Genesis's catalog has been massively cheapened by the simple fact that you can get those games anywhere, really. Like, how many times has Sonic been re-released? Like, Nintendo has the opposite problem where all of their fucking games are $8 bajillion, and the highest discount you will ever get on a Switch game is 30% off. Ever. I believe there's a Switch sale right now, and it's like, hey, you want to not pay way too much money for the Origami King? Fuck you! I think is what they say. I think that's on the sale page. And I'm like, I don't really want to pay that much for Paper Mario the Origami King, but I do want to play Paper Mario the Origami King. Oh, I'm being asked, there was a cast reveal thing for the Mario movie today? Yes, friend. Yes, there was. I'm not saying there aren't, like, good JRPGs for the Genesis and the Sega CD. I'm saying I personally have very little affinity for that system as far as my brand and, like, what I have nostalgia for as a dumb child man. Oh, hey, look, it's that part from Lord of the Rings. And I'm saying we should play Lunar sooner rather than later. I want to play Lunar. That sounds like a fun time. Find whatever way I can to uncensor the steamy the steamy hot spring scenes. I mean, I'd rather not play the SNES or Genesis version of Might and Magic 2, but I would if prompted. Only if we play the Turbo CD version of Might and Magic 3, which has one of the more bonkers, bananas, crazy soundtracks. Wait, where are we supposed to go? Like, it's like the Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack for Eye of the Beholder, where it does not fit the game at all. I think Yuzo Koshiro might have actually done some work on it, but just bonkers bananas. If you want a weird rave music dance club mix for your first person party based blobber, but specifically the Turbo CD version, it's here for you. I will at some point force y'all to play my Magic game too, but that should just be expected. Genesis port of King's Bounty is actually cool because, unlike the DOS version of King's Bounty, the Genesis version of King's Bounty 1, the world map is in real time instead of turn-based, which is actually something that the modern, Russian-developed King's Bounty games took. Which also, at some point, I will play more King's Bounty 2, but I wasn't willing to pay $60 for it. did not seem like a $60 kind of game. Especially since Pathfinder also came out at that same time. And now I am like 100 hours into Pathfinder and still have not completed it.
How can we open this?
We will have to unlock Moria's secrets first.
Yes, before the goblins trap us here.
Is that their way of saying we need to get all the runes? I think the other big highlight was, I guess, that Bayonetta 3 is a real video game now. That's exciting for me. I enjoyed the swerve. I enjoyed the fucking astral chain swerve fake out. So dumb. They announced that game 4 years ago. Because it was 4 years ago. I do not know. I think it's weird that they got a new voice actor for Bayonetta. That's like the whole point, that she's young Bayonetta. I don't know. Hi guys, welcome to my speculation channel. Archery Water speculates about a video game. I think Nintendo will probably make another Mario game. I'm a little surprised that there isn't a new Fire Emblem, honestly. It's been a couple years. They will pump those things out. apologize that I am playing this game, and the Danny DeVito would be an excellent Mario or Mario. Know who else would make an excellent Mario? Charles Martinet. Or Martinet. Chris Pratt. Oh, I was losing my mind. My brain could not fathom what was happening. You know, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I have no idea if these are actually doing anything. Honestly, I'd be okay with that. Although I have not seen any of the newer seasons of It's Always Sunny. Like, that was always a show that I found very funny, but also very hard to watch. Like, that show made me actually uncomfortable, which I guess is pretty funny. I think Charlie Day, you know, Charlie Day is Luigi. Not a bad casting. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad has, like, mild comedic potential. But here's the thing. You know what that... You know what that movie's gonna be. Have you seen an animated children's movie? Have you seen Despicable Me? I have never seen Despicable Me in its entirety. That's the only animated films I watch made for children. Are ones by either anime. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I feel like that's most of those movies, except for, like, the really cheap ones. Like, the ones you don't hear about, the ones that, like, there are entire YouTube channels that... Okay. Not to put anyone on blast. Hi, I'm Arbitrary Waters, the internet's own, and I'm here to put people on blast, specifically YouTubers who have made their career giving, like, half academic, half not at all serious critiques of bad animated children's movies or cartoons. I'm here to put you on blast. I'm here to say I don't find those interesting at all. Yes, Romeo and Juliet, or Sherlock Gnomes, the sequel to Romeo and Juliet. Or, Hoodwinked. I'm not talking about any one specific person. Although I certainly have some specific people in mind, but see, I have way more respect for like Quentin reviews going all the way down the hole and watching every single episode of iCarly and doing an 8-hour analysis of iCarly. I'm never gonna fucking watch that because I respect my time, but like, go with God, good sir. But being like, wow, this old cartoon might not be very good. I'm a man in his early 30s. And it's like, once again, I feel like I need to just acknowledge that, hey, it's okay to like things made for children.
Listen.
What is this?
Fool of a took. Throw yourself in next time. Rid us of your stupidity.
Wait. I see something. What do you say to this, dwarf?
That would be a key to a very important item. Something kept at the throne room. Perhaps a book of secrets.
Can you lead us there? Time is running out.
It's that scene from Lord of the Rings.
It is a Balrog of Morgoth.
We must master our fear. Follow that creature. It is our only way out.
But yeah, like a lot of those videos are just
It is
like,
no use. The path is destroyed. We must fall back and find another way.
it is a lot of lazy, easy video game criticism. Lazy, easy, like, film crit. Like, for as much as I love Red Letter Media, they have hell to pay. For, like, I'll just say that there's a special place in, like, it started with the AVGN, but also, but I feel like the Red Letter Media Star Wars reviews are responsible for a lot of bad film criticism throughout the years. And that's a shame. Because you look back at those, you look back at those, yeah, the AVGN is, like, I hold no ill will towards James Rolfe. He seems like a nice guy, even if Mike Matei seems like a real piece of shit. This is fucking me up. This is why I guess it's picking hard mode. The wrong guy. I made a mistake. Of course, here's the flip side of this is that Tim Rogers announced that he is finally done with his Tim Rogers says he's finally done with his Cyberpunk 2077 review, and I am so excited for that. Just inject that into my veins. Oh, you have, okay. You've never seen a Tim Rogers video? Okay. He has a very specific style, I would say. He used to work for Kotaku, now he does his own thing. And his so the review he did before Cyberpunk was he did a 6-hour, almost 7-hour review of Tokimeki Memorial, the dating sim that came out for the TurboGrafx CD and PS1. It's great. You're not supposed to watch it in one sitting, but there was definitely a point where I was watching a lot of his review on Pac-Man's real good, because he goes into the phrase "video games have come a long way since Pac-Man," and it's very funny. Video games have come a long way since Pac-Man. Anyway, just to warn you, I'm gonna be fine. You want the authentic Lord of the Rings Third Age experience? It's farming non-damage skills because this game has the audacity to only give you one skill point per use of a skill. Do I need to do this? No. No, I don't. Actually, maybe Barathor is just gonna do everything. Alright, actually, I'm making an executive decision. I don't actually want to farm. And I just guess I won't ever finish the... I won't max out the craft item skill tree. Oh, Final Fantasy X is a much better game than this. This game is just novel because it is a Lord of the Rings game. That has Final Fantasy X combat, and that's very funny and weird. Does this game even have a story? Because I feel like the increasing realization I'm having with, like, oh, haha, lol, a bunch of OCs is like, it feels like there are half as many lines of dialogue per cutscene as there should be to establish who these characters are and what their motivations are. It feels like an old SNES JRPG where characters just have a motivation that is one line of dialogue, and that is their motivation. Anyway. I would not be in, like, I think this game is fine, but once we all get further into it, we might have just some discussions about if we want to play the entire thing or not. Because, you know, I paid $10 for this. I am not attached to it entirely. I think it's fine. Character shows up. How much did I pay for Killzone? Okay, so so eBay had a one-time deal where you would get $10 off a purchase of $50 or more, I think it was. Or something like that, $40. $20? $30. Anyway, $10 off a purchase if you use their app. And so that's why I bought Tales of Legendia, and I bought this. And this was like $10. And I believe the shipping was free. So I technically paid $0 for this. How much did I pay for Killzone 1 HD? $14.99. Which, not as much as the $20 I spent on Star Ocean till the end of time. I mean, if we're talking about it, just a reminder that in a pandemic-fueled haze, I spent $90 on Lost Kingdoms 2, which, honestly, seeing... Why do you have 2 copies of Killzone? It's a bad game. Oh, Star Ocean till the end of time. I don't know. That game seems fine, honestly. Yeah, the ending sounds hilarious. The ending sounds like a hilarious mess. But that game seems fine. But yeah, apparently the price of Lost Kingdoms 2 has already gone up to like $150 on eBay, which is just, frankly, absurd. No one should pay that much money for that game. It is weird. But having played through all of Lost Kingdoms 1, and then being reminded what Lost Kingdoms 2 was, did not make me want to play Lost Kingdoms 2. Hey, buddy, come here. I feel bad. Neglecting my dog nephew to play video games. Because here's the thing. Despite the fact that, you know, he is left alone some part of the day just because he's a good boy and does, you know, doesn't have to he doesn't tear anything up. They don't have to put the cage up or anything. He'll usually just sleep on the couch. But I feel bad when my sister and brother-in-law are gone and he is waiting for them to come home. And I'm like, hey buddy, they're not coming home until Sunday. I got bad news. And that in turn makes me like weirdly anxious. Way to actually like see what my buffs and debuffs are. No. So yeah, like dog sitting gives me weird anxiety sometimes because it's like I feel obligated to give you attention even though I know that you are mostly fine. You know, as long as I take him out. A couple times a day. Feed him. Make sure his water bowl is full. Give him hugs and pets. Anyway, boy, these battles sure do take a long time because I'm playing on hard, huh? Which reminds me, speaking of things I talked to my therapist about, yeah, the length of these attack animations does not help either. So, I'm just gonna say right now, there is a non-negligible chance that this game will not be played to completion, depending on how I feel once I get out of these Moria areas. Yeah, this game's not that long. That's why I picked it. It just sure does feel long. Okay, here's another thing from that Nintendo Direct that I feel like that I feel like did not get acknowledgement is because once again everyone was losing their goddamn minds about that Mario cast. Oh. And it's that Castlevania GBA collection has Dracula X in it for some reason. Now, I as I've been threatening for a while, I think October might play some spoopy games, especially if I don't want to finish this. And no, I don't think they're supported Dracula. There is the PSP game, which is Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles, which is just that remake of Rondo of Blood that also had the original version of Rondo and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But that is the real Rondo of Blood. So, you know. Not at all confusing. Oh, that's a much better weapon. Oh, you mean Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3? Yeah, but the Game Boy Advance's sound chip, as we have discussed, I think is maybe poor. The GBA sound chip was made with the assumption that you would not be listening to it with headphones and you'd be listening to it in the car, and so you'd have to blast it because you are 10, let's say. Just to throw out a number. And then, oh, that's right. They got the fucking GBA SP doesn't have a headphone jack. That's weird. Why doesn't it have a headphone jack? That's weird. That's weird. I'm just gonna keep saying that's weird. Which... Sorry, just thinking about this now. Now I'm stuck thinking about this. Admittedly, I played a lot of GBA games. Like, I never got the SP. I had a regular-ass Game Boy Advance. The clear blue, color. Alright, we're gonna watch at least one of these epic scenes from Middle-earth.
The orc breed knows only fear and domination.
Is this how they kind of put story in this game? Is just
Remember this lesson well, for there are much more powerful orcs upon your road,
it's just like
and some I hope you never encounter.
we put Sir Ian in a recording booth. But I played most of my GBA games on the DS, quite honestly. Also, I never upgraded to the DS Lite. I always had the blocky-ass DS regular. And I actually broke one of the hinges on that clamshell, and it still worked. Yeah, I had a DS Fat. Which is why the carrying case for that... That's fine. Which is why the carrying case for that DS Fat still works for my 3DS XL. I am still using the same... I am using the same carrying case for my 3DS XL that I have had since about 2005 or 2006. Let that sink in. IEP, International Extrasensory Perception. Illegal, evil potato. I eat peanut. Itemized earthworm potting. Intentional elf perversion. called me out for making a joke about Omega Labyrinth Live on Discord. I used to know a lot of teachers just by virtue of being a social science major. But I assume it actually means like educational professionals. What is it? Yeah, International Educational Professionals meeting. Ah, okay. That's fun. That's a worthwhile cause thing to do. Individualized education program. Okay. I mean, as someone who definitely has had to go to teachers, actually go through schools and say, hey, I have attention span issues, and etc., etc. Please give me accommodation. I appreciate stuff like that. I like that one of these abilities is literally just hit them 3 times. And then they would threaten to hit me with the meter stick. Okay, yeah, that checks out. Only have to craft 30 more things of King's Foil, and then I can craft lembas bread. Wow. It's almost like this game was made in like 8 months or something. But I think I'm almost out of West Moria, so you know. One thing at a time. honestly, if I wasn't streaming this game, this would be a podcast game. But I made the mistake of deciding to stream this game. And now, of course, I am on the hook to stream all of this game. That's how the rules work. Or, you know, until I get sick of it. Which, non-zero chance of that. On the hook to myself. Although, honestly, watching you play the Surge made me want to play the Surge too. So... I guess I could stop playing this game. I guess. Betray my loyal viewers by playing something I find more interesting, like Shadow Heart's Covenant. And it's on the hook to whom, I believe. Anyway. Just figured I'd be that guy. I just hope I hope there's a little more once I get out of Moria. Because boy golly. I feel like I've been playing this game for 8 hours, when it has in fact only been 4. I could be playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. That's me with semicolons. And every time I use a semicolon correctly, I feel like a fucking genius. And also going over taking a technical editing class.
I think I do.
What? What? That's not even a cutscene. You're not allowed to do that. Anyway. I've decided that skill farming is for chumps, and I'm just going to speedrun this game now.
Fuck crafting! Oh.
A speed up option? Speed up option would make this game feel better. Numbers popping off the characters and also that. Yeah. Are you saying there are definitely some things you could do to improve the game juice here.
Well, we have found it. Moria's Book of Secrets.
You found Moria's Book of Secrets.
We cannot take it with us.
No, but I shall open it.
Trails Styles Turbo Mode should be standard in every JRPG period. Yes.
Here it is.
Give me Final Fantasy
And
14
Louis Van.
or Final Fantasy 12 times 4. I don't know. Every single line of dialogue in this game feels like there is a line
I can
of
speak
dialogue
the words.
preceding it.
But I cannot find the door.
Of course not. That would require cunning beyond the mind of an elf. Yes, Witch, your people serve to secure our doors and seek our mithril, but you are never the power behind our throne. Then, now, or ever.
I just don't feel like anyone in this game talks. Like a person. But they also don't talk enough like, you know, the very Tolkienian heightened speech. You like I mean, this is cool, the way dude's armor is visibly represented. But, like, these characters are just, like, the most broad... It's hard to say the... Yeah.
What do we have here?
Can't you tell by the wrapping of the shaft? It's the last axe ever forged in Moria. A respected ranger.
I'm sorry, my friend. I meant no disrespect.
Oh. I mean, +7 speed is pretty stupid. Anyway. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. We're gonna start an hour later because Zonpai has a meeting. And it's not gonna be a super long thing tomorrow because it's basically just me asking, what kind of campaign do you guys want? Because honestly, my brain is kind of shot right now, and I need some sort of I found all of the runes. I'm gonna need some kind of direction for our campaign so I can plan it. Otherwise, I'm going to do something like, let's say, adapt the Temple of Elemental Evil to Dungeon Crawl Classics, or Cult of the Reptile God. I bet Keep on the Borderlands would also totally work with Dungeon Crawl Classics. That might actually be fun. But I'm also on paper down to do homebrew. I have made dungeons in the past. I have done a homebrew campaign before, and by the end of it, I had burnt the fuck out. But that was like 90% because I was doing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is a motherfucker of a rule set if you are trying to balance the encounters yourself. Like, by the time my players had gotten to level 5, they were already, like, I had to throw absurd nonsense at them. Which is, once again, me going, I bet I could run a Pathfinder adventure path. Of course, then you have to convince people to play Pathfinder 1st Edition. And who's winning at that point? I am. Or my players are, honestly. And yeah, so Adventure Path is Paizo's term for their modules, but basically most Adventure Paths are like a 1 to 20 6-part ordeal, which is different, and I believe they release a new chapter every month. So the idea is that you know, they actually have a subscription service. That's what they be doing. But yeah, so as a result, a lot of Paizo's official adventurers are a lot more guided than the equivalent adventures that Wizards of the Coast makes for D&D 5e. Because, like, I am running that Icewind Dale adventure for my other group, at least intermittently, because some of my players have a child, 2 of them, in fact, because they're married with each other. But the way Wizards of the Coast designs their adventures, it is almost always like 1 to 10, or like 1 to 12 at most, because they do all of those surveys, and apparently, like, no one fucking plays D&D past 10th level. So that's why all of their modules are like 1 to 10. But a lot of those, yeah. Part of it is just design, and part of it is literally like most players. Most groups don't last that long. And also, once you get past level 10, the power curve just becomes silly. Honestly, in 5th edition, once you get past... once you get past, like, 5th level in 5th edition, you're gonna do alright. But a lot of D&D adventures are very sandboxy. Like Icewind Dale, the first couple chapters of Icewind Dale are just, here are a bunch of scattered adventures and encounters that you can implement in your campaign how you want, or, you know, how your players encounter it. With like a looser, overarching story. And it tends to funnel down a little bit near the end. Like, there's usually some sort of dungeon crawls near the end. Like, Curse of Strahd's a pretty good example of that, where Curse of Strahd literally gives you a big map. It gives you a vague level range, basically. There's like areas where clearly meant for low-level parties and high-level parties. But ultimately, you know, the key items the players need to quote-unquote defeat Strahd are... okay, that's not the way. Are randomly generated, randomly sorted, which honestly is pretty great. It's one of those things that, like, more adventures should just say, hey, the key items you need are randomly placed. But basically, it's like, hey, once the players get to get these 3 items and get to level 10, they're probably capable of fighting Strahd. Although, I'm to understand that you can absolutely, like, if you get the Sun Sword, if your players get the Sun Sword early, I'm yelling about Paizo, the way Paizo makes modules versus the way Wizards of the Coast makes modules.
We have found it, at last.
Yeah. I'm so bored I'm talking about Curse of Strahd.
What is this? Never before have I seen such armor.
So yeah, if your party gets the Sun Sword early,
They
Strahd's gonna be running from
of
them.
them all.
Whereas, yes, the way Paizo does their adventure modules is very much like sequential. Some of them are more sandboxy than others, and some of them are linear. It lets them alternate it in like a very episodic way, which is interesting. And they usually have like fun, weird, side things. But, you know, not to spoil where I am in Wrath of the Righteous, but Act 4 in that game is like a real fun change of pace from Act 3. Only took 90 hours, because I decided to play in turn-based mode. Yeah, yeah. I do appreciate the way
I
5th
believe we are
edition
here,
does their
dwarf.
modules.
No more secrets.
Aye. There through our craft lies the hidden door.
Andalou even.
This road leads to the great hall of records.
And
where
Paizo
likely
does
to
similar
find
things with their
yet other
modules,
secrets.
but it's usually more thematic and scale than like Wrath of the Righteous is ridiculous. And it was written that way. It was written for their mythic campaign mechanics, which are bad. But there's... But yeah, because of the way they set up their adventures, it's a little harder to homebrew in your own stuff, which is one of the things I actually really like about the way Wizards of the Coast makes their adventures. It's very much like they give the player, the GM, enough room to tweak as necessary without being overbearing. Whereas the way Pathfinder modules are usually is a lot of like, we give you a pretty clear path. There's a pretty clear arc for this campaign that because of the way these adventures are set up means it's harder to adjust around if the player decide to go off script. Anyway, this game is very monotonous. And I don't think I realized how little story there is in it. Maybe I'll play Star Trek tomorrow instead. Because here's the thing about that Star Trek game. It's a pretty good shooter. And honestly, the way Star Trek Elite Force tries to kind of I might drop the difficulty back down to normal. You know, hard mode actually forcing me to actually do mechanics. So, on the other hand, hey, I got what I asked for. I just think this game is really in need of something else. perhaps more than 8 months of development time would have helped this game, instead of being rushed out. Rushed out the door in time for holiday 2004 by a bunch of incredibly overcrunched developers. Because, like, yeah, for licensed games, this is EA's run of Lord of the Rings games is almost all games that are pretty good or actually kind of great. Or at least, like, once again, I have not gone back to those hack and slash games since I was literally like 12 or 13. But this seems totally fine. Like, this game is aggressively not bad. But also, there are just some choices that I would describe as quite tedious. Anyway, hey. There goes that encounter. We made it to Eastern Moria. Oh, look! Look, it's that scene from that movie! Remember that part from that movie?
Something comes.
The Balrog has found us!
Seek shelter.
Hey, do you want to have a fun discussion? Ask a Tolkien scholar if the Balrog
Creature
has
seeks the wizard.
wings.
We must reach them first. If you want Tolkien scholars to commit actual violence against each other, ask them if the Balrog has wings. Do it. I dare you. Alright, what are... Alright, we're gonna stop here for today. I'm going to keep playing this, despite my own griping, because
this is the game I suggested for the podcast. So I guess we'll do the chapter of evil mode. I keep on trying to press the play. No, we're not going to even do that. No. I'm calling it here. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to take the dog out. I'm saying I don't know if we should finish this. I'm saying this might not be a 2-episode thing. But thanks everyone for watching. And Dungeon Crawl Classic's going to start an hour later. Tomorrow. Bye!